I will say, by a show of hands, how many hip-hop fans do we have in the building? Okay, here and there. Are you familiar with the hip-hop term and concept, game recognizes game? Only vaguely, apparently. It is that concept that applies to the next part of our evening, because we're going to hear from several young leaders who embody this kind of work. 3 speakers, Alex, Ismael, and Alejandra, who are able to now remain safely in the United States thanks to kind and the work of their pro bono attorneys. Basically, Alex was targeted by gangs in El Salvador and fled at the age of 13 to find safety in the United States. After high school, he was accepted to the prestigious Europe program, which is for college-level training, as well as an internship that's extended for accomplished graduates. Alex interned at J.P. Morgan, which hired him in January. Ismael, who we're also going to hear from, fled Honduras after he was told by gangs that he would be killed because he was gay. He says he felt free for the first time after arriving in this country. And he went to his first Pride Parade this year in celebration of that and to advocate with kind on Capitol Hill last fall. And that was a session there that was about protections for unaccompanied children here in the United States, which of course is a big issue, policy and political. Finally, only a year after arriving from El Salvador, our other speaker, Alejandra, was nominated to represent her entire student body for a service project in her school community as a victim of bullying, based in part on having English as a second language. Alejandra chose to develop an entire anti-bullying campaign, and as a result of her work, she was selected to meet with former First Lady Michelle Obama just last year. Please join me in welcoming Alex, Ismael, and Alejandra to the podium to address us tonight.
Thank you. It's an honor being here tonight. I'll tell you all a little bit about myself and what kind really means to me. I was born in El Salvador. My mother, who I did not really meet until the age of 13, left when I was only 9 months old. Growing up there, I was always hearing stories of how the gangs threatened business owners and regular people to pay for their well-being, and if they didn't, they paired with their lives. My friends would tell me how they found 8 bodies floating around and how someone they knew was murdered by the gangs for the smallest things, such as having a nice pair of shoes. This is something that still surrounds the country, and if you report to the police, they won't do anything because the police either work with the gangs or gangs have power over them. I'll speak with my parents every Sunday, and I'll tell them every detail of my life, such as my friends, school, home, and what my friends and I have seen. Like any other parent would, they wanted me out of that environment. My parents had tried to accomplish their American dream and bought a house in the U.S., but ended up losing it during the 2008 market crash. A few years later, they decided to buy a house in El Salvador. The day that purchase was going to take place, my uncle was kidnapped, and the gang that took him asked for the money that was going to be used to buy the house. Luckily, my uncle came out of that alive. But the money was lost, and the threats kept coming. Only this time, I was the target. My parents got a call in the U.S. The person on the phone asked for a weekly payment for my safety. They knew everything about me, such as the school I went to, what time I go in and out, and even the bus I'd take to go to school. This is when I knew I had to leave and go to the U.S. at age 13. After a few days, fast forward to me being here in the U.S., I heard about attorneys who help minors by offering legal advice, representing them in court, and guiding them through every step of this long and complicated process. In other words, provided me with a person that helped me change my life. I had almost lost all hope being undocumented. I had convinced myself that working hard through high school was unnecessary because I couldn't further my education. Luckily, I realized I was making a mistake and that school is important, particularly for me because of where I come from and the journey that me and my parents have gone through. Ever since I learned the impact that the 2008 market crash had caused in my family, and after moving to the US, hearing about the stock market and the opportunities it creates, I grew an interest in the field. I decided to pursue a career in finance and joined a one-year program called Year Up, which provides students with college-level courses and a 6-month internship in top American companies, including Wellington Management and JP Morgan Chase, which is where I interned from July 2017 to January 2018. I enrolled in the investment operations track, and I was given a chance to show my potential and landed a job in the field. This amazing opportunity will help me pursue higher education, advance my studies, grow my career, myself, and achieve goals that I have set for myself, goals which will change my life and my whole family's. Thanks to Kind, I can say this for myself. Because of Kind, I am able to believe in me, to strive for more, to engage in new things, and to dream again. Thank you.
Buenas noches a todos. Gracias por invitarme a este evento. Mi nombre es Ismael y tengo 18 años. Originalmente soy de Honduras. Ahí viví con mi mamá y mi hermana mayor.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to this very important event. My name is Ismael, and I am 18 years old. I'm originally from Honduras. There, I lived with my mom and my older sister.
Cuando tenía 12 años, enfrenté la delincuencia en mi país. Antes de eso, viví una vida tranquila, asistía a la escuela y jugaba con mis amigos.
When I was 12 years old, I faced the crime of my country. Before that, I lived a calm life. I attended school and played with my friends.
Un día, yo subí al autobús para ir a la escuela. Unos mareros esperaron a que me bajara. Me dijeron que quería que les vendiera drogas. Yo nunca quería meterme con las maras. Sabía que eran peligrosos y muy malos. Ellos persiguieron porque mi papá murió y dijeron que no contaba con un hombre que podía protegerme.
One day, I got on the bus to go to school. Some gang members were waiting for me to get off the bus. They told me that they wanted me to sell drugs for them. I never wanted to involve myself with the gangs. I knew they were dangerous and very bad. They pursued me because my father had died, and they knew that I didn't have a man to protect me.
Yo sentía mucho miedo. Yo sentía miedo no solo por mí, pero por mi mamá y mi hermana.
I was very afraid. I was afraid not only for me, but for my mom and my sister.
Quiero que ustedes entiendan que en Honduras no hay protección contra este tipo de violencia. Uno no puede buscar ayuda de la policía. Ellos no hacen nada cuando hay problemas con las maras. Tal vez ellos mismos están involucrados con las maras o ellos tienen miedo también.
I want you all to understand that in Honduras, there is not protection against this type of violence. One cannot look for help from the police. They don't do anything when there are problems with the gangs. Maybe they are involved with the gang, or they may also be afraid.
Yo hablé con mi mamá, decidimos que la única solución para que estuviera a salvo sería salir del país.
I spoke with my mom, and we decided that the only solution to be safe was for me to leave my country.
Decidí irme también porque soy gay. No podía hablar con mis padres sobre eso. No es fácil que uno pueda discutir en Honduras. No hay protección para la gente gay en Honduras y sufren mucho. Es peligroso ser gay allá.
I also decided to leave because I am gay. I couldn't talk to my parents about this. It is not something one discusses in Honduras. There are no protections for gay people in Honduras, and they suffer a lot. It is very dangerous to be gay there.
Fue muy difícil el viaje. Algunas partes fueron tranquilas, pero otras sentí miedo y tristeza.
It was a very difficult journey. Some parts were calm, but in others I felt scared and very sad.
Entré a los Estados Unidos y caí con inmigración. Me detuvieron. Mi case manager en el centro de detención me refirió a CAI para ayuda legal.
I entered the United States. and was caught by immigration. I was detained. My case manager in the detention center referred me to Kind for legal help.
Fue muy difícil hacer mi caso para el asilo. Tuve que trabajar bastante con mi abogada y fue hablar sobre cosas muy difíciles. Nos reunimos varias veces hasta que sintiera confianza de contarle toda mi historia. No sé qué hubiera hecho sin mi abogada Cynthia. Hubiera sido imposible luchar mi caso. Quiero que ustedes sepan que niños necesitan abogados para que el proceso de corte sea justo.
It was very difficult to do my case for asylum. I had to work a lot with my attorney and talk about difficult things. We met several times until we had the trust that was needed for me to share all of my story. I don't know what I would have done without my attorney, Cynthia. It would have been impossible to fight my case. I want you all to know that kids need lawyers so that the court process is fair.
Me siento muy feliz al decirles que mi caso de asilo fue aprobado hace 2 meses. Hoy en día me siento muy feliz porque tengo la certeza de que estoy seguro.
I am happy to say that 2 months ago my asylum was approved. Today I feel happy because there is a certainty that I am safe.
Durante estos últimos meses también he tenido la oportunidad de participar en eventos muy significantes, uno de los cuales fue cuando Kai me invitó al Capitolio. Ese día fue muy especial para mí y uno que jamás olvidaré. Me sentí empoderado al contar mi historia y con optimismo de que algún día podría ser la diferencia importante en el apoyo de la gente tan influyente y poderosa.
In these last few months, I have also been able to participate in very significant activities, one of which was when Kind invited me to Capitol Hill. That day was very special for me and one that I will never forget. I felt empowered to share my story and optimistic that I can one day make a big difference in others' lives with the support of such powerful and influential people.
Para concluir, en el futuro me gustaría ir a la universidad. Aún no sé qué me gustaría especializarme, pero lo que sí sé es que las posibilidades en este país son infinitas. Por eso, y por la ayuda de Kind, me siento muy agradecido y gracias.
To conclude, in the future I would like to go to college. Even though I'm still exploring what I would like to specialize in, what I do know for sure is that the possibilities in this country are endless. For that, and for Kind, I am very thankful.
Good evening. My name is Alejandra Valdez. I am from El Salvador, and I'm a high school senior in Washington, D.C. I'm here tonight, first of all, to thank Kind and all of you for being our angels of hope and for letting us make our dreams come true. 3 years ago, my 10-year-old brother and I traveled from El Salvador to Washington, D.C. with just the clothes on our backs, an extra pair of shoes, and passports in hand. We made the dangerous journey to reunite with our mother after a 10-year separation. She came to the U.S. looking for better opportunities for us. Over the years, living in my home country began to be a challenging life experience due to increasing gang violence. It was because of this that we decided to leave our country. When we arrived, my mother looked for help in many different organizations. None of them were willing to help us. But fortunately, my mother learned about Kind. Our experience with Kind was wonderful. They listened to us, and most of all, gave us the assurance that everything was going to be okay. Shortly after, we met my lawyer, Lucero, who has been our guardian angel. She helped us through the entire legal process, went with us to court, and has helped us with school. Today, Lucero continues to be an essential partner to me and my family, and I am very grateful for her and all the work that she and Kind has done for us. Lucero also gave me the courage to know that I will be able to make my dreams come true one day. When I arrived from El Salvador, I only spoke the beautiful language of Spanish. The first and most difficult barrier that I faced was to learn the English language. Being an English speaker was not only a personal goal, but a necessity. From going to the store to translating important documents for my mother, I knew I needed to master the English language. During my first week of school, I could not understand anything the teacher was saying, which caused me to not have friends. At first, I thought about dropping out of school and going back to my home country because I felt defeated. After a motivational talk from my mother, I thought that in order to stop a problem, I needed to stand up and fight for myself and other voiceless people who often suffer in silence. After hearing the complaints and struggles of my new friends who were being bullied just as I was, due to their immigration status, sexual orientation, special needs, and many other issues, I was motivated to work on a campaign called the Anti-Bullying Project. In March of 2015, with the support from 10 community organizations, I held the first anti-bullying day at my school, which gave my formerly silent friends the courage to overcome their fears. Over time, I became fluent in English, and with hard work and the motivation to succeed, I am now ranked number 2 in my senior class. The journey was not easy, but it has been amazing to get to know new people, myself, and the ability I did not know I have to overcome my fears and challenges. I'm working towards graduating as a valedictorian or salutatorian, but in the meantime, I'm now proud to say that I will be attending the George Washington University with a full tuition, room and board scholarship, where I will be majoring in biology. My dream is to one day become a pediatrician. Thank you.